searching for something, found some love before, but not like this. I can't explain. Try my best, no luck. But then you came around to me, gave my heart a touch. It made me say your name in threes. Can't go back in time to change the past. Alina, found the one that gets me straight to land. Alina, I am who I am, can't take it back. Alina, I don't want to. I'm doing it right.
My name is Sean Edwards, and I'm the business owner of Harvest Painting Impressions, and I provide interior and exterior painting and deck staining services to all residential and commercial clients. At Harvest Painting Impressions, I embody the perspective that every home or property has a look and quality of its own, and my primary goal with you as a valued customer is to accentuate the look of your home by adding life to it through the art of applying color. With Harvest Painting Impressions as a customer, you will have the option to acquire a variety of service options, promotions, senior discounts, material and labor warranties included with any project. In addition to that, I value the opportunity to provide you with a free and comprehensive service plan that is simple and specifically designed to promote quality performance and, most importantly, your satisfaction. For your free estimate, you can contact me at area code 815-590-6489.
Greetings. How are y'all doing? That light is bright back there, ain't it? Y'all, we need to talk because I need to know when this shift happened. Okay. So I know, like I was just telling Lisa, like I remember when Nelson Mandela died back in like 1988. I can remember watching his funeral on the TV. I was telling her I remember them carrying him, like they brought him out of this. I don't know if it was like I don't want to say a hut, but it's like some kind of. It wasn't a real building. I know that, and they brought him out. They were carrying this man, and it was so many people, and this was televised, right? Hey, sweetie. I remember this, and we've talked about it before, I'm sure. And this is where they get the Mandela effect from, because so many people remembered that shit, right? Who? You said she was at my great grandmother's house, and who was up? I don't know. But you remember Trish Cole, gratitude, y'all. I remember Miss Destiny Kisses. I remember. I was little. I was about 8 years old. And just recently, I'm watching this Netflix special on Elizabeth Smart, right? And when I get to the end of it, and they were like, they found her, they had went back to Salt Lake City, and they found her. She had been gone for 8 months, and it took them a few years to prosecute it. And I'm like, that's not the way I remember the story, right? I remember that Elizabeth Smart was taken and was gone for years. And that when they found her, she had had a pregnancy or a baby. I remember that. I remember this shit. And so I'm telling Lisa, we go to the store, and I said, girl, do you know I have watched this Elizabeth Smart with Cena, and I'm telling him that this girl was gone for years. And then when I watched this Netflix documentary, it said she was gone for 8 months. I said, that's not the way I remember that, Lisa. I said, but I guess I was tripping. I don't know. Lisa's like, yeah, I don't remember it like that either. So today she says, that's much just like the, Elizabeth Smart case. She said, Governess, I'm with you. I remember this girl was gone for years because when you said that to me, she was only gone for 8 months. She said, I thought, well, what happened to all of the kids? And I said, right, I think I remember that girl had a baby by that man. And I'm like, I took my glass off. I can't read shit.
2 girls.
2
That
girls.
Might be right. Yep.
You said, no, she was gone for you. She was gone for years. I remember this shit. This is just like fucking baby Jessica, bro. Y'all remember baby Jessica? Baby Jessica fell down the motherfucking well. No. And so last night when I'm doing the Lacey Peterson, I kept saying they're not going to find her body because it's been 20 years, right? But all I know is during the channel, I just kept seeing her body at the bottom of the ocean, right? And that I feel like he tried to put something on her body that he thought would eat the body up, but it wasn't doing whatever he thought it was going to do. And I feel like he put the body in the water, right? So then I was seeing people say that the remains had washed up. So when I got off the live, I did some research. And it said, because like I said, I didn't finish watching the documentary. Even in the documentary, they were like, oh my God, I can't believe it's been 20 years. And I'm like, yeah, damn, it's been a long time. So then it said a few months had passed, like in 2003, her and the baby's body remains washed up on shore. Now they said, listen to me. They said where this man, Scott, drove that boat, he drove it almost to the fucking middle of nowhere, bro. And dumped his body. And then came back, and that's when he called her. That's how long he had been gone. It was 2:15 when he called her. He left that morning and went out there. And they're saying that this body, which had never happened before, bitch. I'm saying, listen. I remember throughout the years after this happened, there was so much speculation about where her body could be. If this really happened, where was she? Could he have thrown her over the boat? Did she run off with somebody? Did she leave him? It was so much speculation of where she was because there was another girl that was also missing at the same time who was also suspected. Her hair was curly and wavy and it was like cut in a bob, almost longer on one side. You shaking your head. You remember who I'm talking about. So I was like, so when I'm doing the channeling, I'm going by that because they're telling me like the body is at the bottom of the ocean. Now, let me look this up one more time because I didn't disturb. I want to see something. It's still pulled up. The remains of Lacey Peterson and her unborn son, Connor, were discovered on April 13th and 14th, 2003, washed ashore in the San Francisco Bay along the Point Isabella regional shoreline in Richmond, California. They were found just a few miles from the Berkeley Marina, where her husband, Scott Peterson, claimed he was boating the day she vanished. The timeline and condition of remains. April 13, 2003, a full-term male fetus was discovered by a dog walker. She was 8 months pregnant. So that means that her body had to be so decomposed that the baby came outside of her body. And you're telling me that they both washed up on the shore. That's what y'all gonna tell me. April 14, 2003, the remains of a woman identified as 27-year-old Lacey Peterson were found about a mile away. Condition because they had spent nearly 4 months in the water. The remains were in an advanced state of decomposition. Then how did the baby come out? Because he didn't deliver the baby. She was 8 months pregnant. And if he delivered or cut the baby out, it would have been blood all over his boat. And they were sure to tell me that there were no blood because he didn't want it to be messy. So you mean to tell me that a full fetus after 4 months washed up as well, and then the mother washed up the very next day? Stop fucking playing with me. Okay. All right. The tragic, but they had went out there, didn't they? Didn't they go out there and drag the water and shit looking for her?
Where his boat was.
They had to search the boat because he said he had went out there. So that means they gonna make sure that they do their due diligence to see if he killed her on the boat. Come on.
And if that's the case, if he went so far out, governors, wouldn't everything that's that far out in the ocean
Come up?
Right?
He went out. I think it was, I don't know if it was 200 miles or however the fuck. He went out to the middle of fucking nowhere, bro.
And all of that shit should be coming up onto our shores.
I suspect we will find Jimmy Hoffa soon.
There you go.
That he's just going to rise from up under one of these here buildings.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow.
They needed a conviction is what they needed. Okay. Because they had spent nearly 4 months in the water. So when I went to Delaware and I was looking up, talking to the young man about the young boys that were hung and drowned in Dover, he said the boy had been in the water for months, 30 to 60 days. 30 to 60 days. And they had been out there trying to find him, couldn't find him. And all of a sudden, one day he popped up in the water. And when they pulled him out the water, after 30 to 60 days, 30 days, okay, 30 days, Spirit. After 30 days, he still had an untampered piece of paper folded in his pocket that was legible, that was not soaked. It was still in his pocket.
Dry?
Okay, so the tragic discovery of the bodies, exactly where Scott Peterson claimed he was fishing, served as vital circumstantial evidence during his trial. In 2004, Scott Peterson was convicted of his first-degree murder for Lacey and second-degree murder for their unborn son. The case heavily influenced the passage of the Unborn Victims of Violence Act in 2004, which federally recognizes unborn children as victims of crime. Does anybody else, like, I didn't know what happened to her, but I just, until last night, right? But does anybody else remember anything different from that, as well as Elizabeth Smart? Does anybody else remember anything different? Because I just want to know how many people, because let me tell you something, and allegedly, and I don't know Netflix, but allegedly, and maybe I'll have a Netflix special one day. I do not know. But I said to Lisa, I said, these motherfuckers, because I was like, why do Netflix keep going back and doing documentaries on these old ass stories? like I don't even know if this is on Netflix, but I was watching one. My father was a serial killer, and the lady kept saying how her father was taking these bodies up to this well, and she remembered her father being a serial killer, and everybody kept trying to act like she was crazy, but then they were admitting it in their interviews and talking that he was a fucking killer, bro. Like, I told Lisa, I said, these motherfuckers. So allegedly, this documentary maker are controlling the narrative. Whatever they want to be programmed, they take it to this company, allegedly, and this company puts it out here and spins the narrative, bro, of what the fuck. Because I know motherfucking well, bro, Elizabeth Smart was missing for years, bro. Elizabeth Smart was missing for years. And when I watched that documentary, they gave me vibes of Children of the fucking Corn, bro. Her father is creepy as fuck. Her sister is creepy as fuck. I picked up so much shit watching the documentary. I'm like, so y'all gave this girl to him? Okay, if y'all gave her to him, just say that. Because that's what the fuck. He worked for y'all, and nobody thought that this motherfucker had this girl. But he never came back and did no more work. She's traipsing through the motherfucking streets of Salt Lake City with a little mask on. She's been stopped by the police and was so scared she never said that she had only been gone for a few days the first time they stopped her. I was so scared of what? You're with all of these police and these two psycho people that supposedly took you. And you had only been gone for a few days, and they wanted to know if she would pull. I would have snatched the fucking mask down. How were you that controlled in 2 to 3 days of being gone? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. They're committing crimes as if they're civilians. They're controlling the narrative, and it's getting so fucking sloppy. Like, how much of this that we're actually looking at is fucking AI? That girl was gone for years, and I wasn't even going to say anything that I thought she had a baby until he said, "But then where's the kids at? How did the kids in 8 months?" Because the special documentary says she was only kidnapped for 8 months before she talked him into bringing her back to Salt Lake City, in which they found them walking down the street. She was everywhere. Like, the girl had grown. She looked older when they found her.
She was a woman.
She was a fucking woman when they found her. They trying to paint it as if it just took them that long to prosecute. Since when has it taken you 5 to 10 years to fucking prosecute a missing person? That she said, I had to go to them and tell them, I can't take no more. We need to prosecute now. So they did. What? This is in the documentary. Grown ass womanly. Yeah. It was longer than 8 months. This girl had a fucking baby by this man. She had, I remember, I don't know how many, but I remember them saying she had a fucking baby, and they didn't know how she would like be okay mentally because she was so, as we said, indoctrinated into this cult. You said her back was muscular from the heavy backpack. You can't even believe documentaries anymore. You said, I remember Mike Epps did a skit on it. Bro, they had never found Laci Peterson. No. her body and her 8-month-old fetus, full fetus, washed up. It came out of her body. It came out of her body. And maybe it was because what I kept seeing was he was putting shit on fertilizer, trying to see if it would, like eat the body before he threw her in this water. But that would beg to say that everybody can wash up on shore.
Imagine him thinking, how this bitch
Then washed up on shore.
I went out 200 miles.
He had thought about things like this over and over again.
And if you're a boater,
You know.
you know the currents, you know all that
That's
shit,
right.
the charts. He knew going out that far.
She would never be found.
Nope.
I remember throughout the years they were debating where she could be.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Don't nobody else remember throughout the years they were debating where Lacey Peterson could be? Let me get myself up and ready. You said Grand Rising. I'm sorry, I live in the Bay Area. Lacey body was never recovered.
Gratitude.
This is all I'm saying. You said, yep, they even had a special on it. Yes, Lee. That's what I remember, the special. That's why I had to think about it when I got off the live and I did the research. I'm like, no, because it was a special on it. They even brought up the girl with the curly hair. The white girl with the curly hair is sitting like this. And she has like a bob cut. One side is longer than the other one. And her hair is curly. And they were talking about, because they both were kind of missing around the same time. I'm not fucking tripping. You said there were several specials about Lacey. Yes. Then why, if she had already been found, her body? No. Let me see. You said they stopped looking for her. Wait a minute. You said I stopped looking at stuff because I for sure remember her being gone for years and having kids. Okay. Okay. Even the Lifetime movie, they didn't find her. Yes, they decided to prosecute him without the body. Because I remember him sitting in court. I do remember that, but I didn't keep up with the trial, the court. I don't know what happened. What I do remember is them still looking for this girl's fucking remains. They kept saying she was pregnant. She's pregnant. She's pregnant. Girl, no. I mean, her body definitely would never recover because it's been a long time for them to even try to find these components. But they're saying they found her like 4 months later. No, they didn't. The fuck not. Oh, Nancy Grace said she would never stop reporting until she was found. See what I'm saying? They went off circumstantial evidence. So when did the shift happen? Her name was Chandra Levy. Yes, that's her. That's her. Let me pull her picture up so y'all can see who I'm talking about. Baby, I knew I wasn't tripping. I'm like, they're never going to find her because it's been 20 years. And he put her body in the water in that ocean. I knew that. No, I didn't know what he did to her until last night, but you know. And they saying they found Sandra Levy. When did they find her? Her! Yes! Girl.
Yep, that's her.
This is her. She was missing around the same time, bro. They were talking about both of them. Now they saying they found her too.
Oh my gosh.
Sandra Levy's skeletal remains were found on May 22nd, 2002 in a secluded steep ravine in Washington, D.C.'s Rock Creek Park. A passerby walking their dog, another dog walker, another dog walker.
That is not coincidental.
Discovered her remains, which were located about 4 miles. There's that 4 again. 4 miles from her DuPont Circle apartment. Levy, a 24-year-old federal intern, had been missing since May 1st, 2001. Then why didn't nobody else find her fucking remains? It took a whole year and a dog walker found it?
No, I'm Googling this shit.
Her disappearance sparked a massive national frenzy, largely due to her secret affair with then Congressman Gary Condit. Her remains were located nearly a year after her disappearance. The condition of her body made it impossible for the medical examiner to pinpoint exactly cause. Now, they said the same thing about Lacey Peterson. Both of these girls were still missing at the same time. They were both still missing. See what I'm saying?
Do you want to read what the chat GPT?
What does it say, Liz? How many dead bodies have been discovered by dog walkers? Okay. There isn't an official statistic for how many dead bodies have been discovered by dog walkers. Police department and coroners generally record that a body was found, but they usually do not track who found it. Dog walker, hiker, jogger, fisherman, etc. In fact, a freedom of information
Why would they want that?
Wait, what?
Keep going.
But they usually do not track who found it.
But the police in England overseas wanted it to be tracked, wanted data on it, and they said no.
In
Why
fact,
not?
a freedom of information request to a UK police force asking exactly this question was denied because they don't maintain records in that way. That said, dog walkers seem to discover bodies surprisingly often in news reports and true crime cases because they spend a lot of time in parks, woods, trails, and remote areas. Have dogs that wander off paths, but they look for these people.
But
Keep going.
Yeah, keep going, because I want you to read the bottom.
Okay.
What the?
If it had an estimate,
Yeah, and then
if it had to, if I had to estimate, the number is likely in the thousands worldwide over the years, but no reliable organization has ever compiled a total count. It's one of those oddly common events that gets a lot of attention because it sounds unusual, yet it isn't systematically tracked. Fun fact, among true crime enthusiasts, there's actually a running joke that it's always the dog walker who finds the body because it happens often enough to be a recognizable pattern.
and why won't they track it? Why were they denied? You know what I mean? Because if they got them to say, okay, yeah, let's track how many dog walkers find dead bodies. Well, now you can't use that. It was a dog walker.
Yeah,
anymore.
they it says because they spend a lot of times in those areas, have dogs that wander off paths and investigate unusual scents, are out year round and often nearly in the morning. But here you go, Lisa.
Mhm.
But the thing is this, Lisa.
Mhm.
They do these searches with cadaver dogs.
Exactly. So how did me and my little baby
Chihuahua.
our Chihuahua, and the
What
lady
is it,
sticking
boy?
out off the path?
The hand is like this.
Right.
What is it, boy? Is that a ring and a finger?
Right.
Stay back. Let me call this in.
We called 911. It doesn't make sense. Does not make sense. That's crazy.
Google how many bodies have washed up ashore after years or months.
Okay.
And I'm going to get off because I got to get myself together here. I got to get going. But this is crazy. It is so fucking wild.
You said after years of being missing?
Yeah,
So
or even months.
Or okay, after have washed up ashore after
4 months. They found the remains of the baby one day and then her the next.
That's crazy.
Do y'all know how much a baby weigh? 8 months without skin and fragments and shit.
Well, again, we don't track those things. Okay. People lost at sea.
Was Clive Davis found by a dog walker?
So it says for people lost at sea, drowned, or involved in boating accidents, many bodies are never recovered at all because currents, marine life,
Decomposition.
Yep, and deep water can prevent recovery.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Now it is common that they wash ashore closer to, like maybe 10 miles out, or you know what I mean, something like that. He took her because he was a boating expert. He understood what going 200 miles out went, and that's pretty much what this is saying. Well, this is interesting. Oceanographers can often model where a body is likely to drift based on currents, wind, and water temperature.
So they're saying that he took his aluminum boat out into the San Francisco Bay to the Brooks Island area, which is roughly 1.5 to 2 miles from his launch point at the Berkeley Marina. He was very calculated.
Very calculated. He knew stuff. All I could see is him sitting there.
They didn't. This bitch body done washed up the baby too. Because I had never even heard them say the baby's name.
Wait, he said he drove his boat over there?
In the documentary, he says that he went out so many miles because he was going to go fishing. He got up early that morning, went to his place of business where he sold fertilizer. He went to the store. He got a few things. Then he drove his boat out a few miles, some miles and miles out, and brought it back in and then called Lacey. At that point, it's 2:15 in the afternoon.
He went miles.
He did.
Miles. But they're saying in the thing that
it was only a mile to 2 miles out.
Mm-hmm.
No. He had got up early that morning because he said she went walking at 8 a.m. Yeah, the baby's name is Connor. But they had never really said his name. And I just was talking about last night that you never really hear them mention the baby like that at all for real, except for that she was pregnant when she went missing. And they always say she went missing. They never say that she was murdered really by Scott. And maybe on this grid. Yeah, Lee, because that's crazy. Late to the party, did he confess? No, they claimed that he found that her body and the baby's body washed up ashore a day apart. Although she was still pregnant, 8 months when he killed her, because he killed her the night before and then took her out there. And they're saying that the baby body washed up first, April 13th, and then her body washed up the next day, April 14th.
So for a body a mile out, it would come back pretty quickly within a week or two. But
It took 4 months.
right, but in Lacey's case, because I don't want the bitch thinking I was trying to commit a murder here. But in Lacey's case, she did not surface wash ashore until April, so roughly 110, 111 days later. So for that case, not quickly, around 4 months. But everything else,
So maybe she had the
Hours.
baby in the water.
days, weeks.
Maybe she had the baby in the
There
water.
you go. That was it. Fully termed.
Full termed. A full term baby. Although she was 8 months and you're pregnant to your 10 months in pregnancy.
I need
Take them. Neighbors admitted seeing her walking the morning with the dog, though. That's crazy. And it's lies. It's lies. Because it never happened. You know what I'm saying? Let me get myself together. He was cheating. I don't know with who, but they did say the girlfriend came out and said that they were planning on moving and all of this other stuff. I don't know, because they're always spinning a narrative. I don't remember them ever finding Chandra either years ago, because they fucking didn't, bro. They never found Lacey. They never found Chandra. Now it's 4 months for Lacey, less than a year, almost a year for Chandra. When they were doing specials on both of these girls being missing, because they were still missing at the same time, both suspected by the people they had been dealing with. I'm just floored and a loss for words. And again, now Elizabeth Smart was only missing for 8 months, when that's not what the fuck the majority of us remember.
See what it says about it? Elizabeth Smart.
Amber Fry was who he cheated with. Oh, I remember that name. When you said that, I remember that name too. Say Amber. That's definitely a lie. I don't remember them ever. Okay. Yep, show did crazy work. I don't know. Maybe our heads spin off and on. You know what I'm saying? Like, the shit is crazy.
They even got ChatGPT saying the same narrative. No, she did not have children. She was held captive for about 9 months.
Long enough to have that baby that he impregnated her with. Problem. Yo. Yeah, I have a Twitter.
Wow.
I can't make it up, because they making it up.
Yes.
You know, they just writing shit as they go the fuck along, bro. And they got a whole network streaming site to help them fucking do it. Spin the narrative. They say just opening the suitcases and dropping bombs of information. It's wild. It's wild to me. But anyway, let me go. I will call y'all back at some point. This is crazy. I just wanted to see what y'all remember, because bro, they're spinning a narrative, and then they're hiring these streaming sites to spin the narrative, to implant that information. So you'd be like, oh damn, okay, why I remember it differently? Because it happened differently. God damn it, it didn't happen that fucking way. And I'm, you know. All right, I love y'all. Gratitude so much. I appreciate y'all, and I'll talk to you soon. Oh wait, real quick. Somebody said they're counting the views from when you were live on my live they blocked the other day. Now, right now it's 405 people, but that's not all on here. I'm live on several sites, but I'm seeing who's on here in totality. And it was 400 people on here in totality the other day. When I ended the live, it wasn't that many views. So the views kept going up. And I came on here and I said, that's funny, because it was just at this. So it couldn't have been that. It's not that. How was the view still going up when nobody else can fucking see it? You know what I mean? Now, going on, or you hear some right now, It then went up one more, 1345. Now I took a screenshot and showed y'all, right? So how is the view still going up? It's gone up. When it stopped, it was at 1342.
You can't see the video.
Nobody can see it but me. So who's viewing it? It wasn't 1,300 people on that live. It was only 400 people, and that's over 4 or 5 different streaming sites. If you were on the live, you saw that there was not 400 people on YouTube. Like right now, if you're looking on YouTube on what's on YouTube right now, let me see. It's 315 people on here out of the 395. And that means some of these people have also gotten off. So that to tell you right there. So when I get off of here on this YouTube, it says 315. That's how many views it should say if they don't block it. You know what I'm saying? So how is it that it keeps going up when nobody else can see it? And I even showed you, I got on here and I told you, I said, y'all, they didn't block my shit. It was it. Then it keeps going up. So, no, they full of shit. They're always spinning the narrative. Let me go. I love y'all. Gratitude. I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.